Hey everyone, my name's Eric and I'm one of the co-founders here along with John Russell. And I want to thank you for taking the time to schedule this demo. I'm so excited about what I'm going to show you today on this demo. We're going to do a quick flyby of our most popular features and setups, and you're going to see an overview of a lot. Now, while you are watching this live and hearing me live, the screen you'll be seeing is actually a pre-recorded demonstration. And I do this because it helps speed up the process. And so you don't get to watch me make typo errors and wait for images to upload. And so it just helps me cover a lot more ground faster. Now, know that our team is actually here live. They're going to be monitoring your questions on the right-hand side. And so as you see something, type something in there. And at the very end, our team will jump in and they'll answer your questions at the end. So as you see something, type it in there. But to kick us off, I wanted to briefly share how RegFox is different. First, as you need to know, is we are not a Me Too copycat version of other registration platforms. Those other platforms, they are overcharging and they are under delivering. And you know that. RegFox is the registration system that you would build yourself. It's going to offer you the flexibility that you need and want to run events your way. It's going to give you greater flexibility for your events. It's going to give you features that increase your revenue and save you time. And it's simple and fairly priced. You're going to love the pricing structure, and ultimately you are going to make and save thousands of dollars. Let me give you a quick overview of what we're going to cover in this demo. This is a lot, but again, we're going to go through it pretty quickly, and you'll have a link in your inbox to see some more individualized demos here. And our pricing structure for registration is simple and easy. It is pay as you go per registration, and it has zero contract setup fees, platform fees, and admin fees, oxygen fees. And you can compare that with an Eventbrite or Cvent, and you can do the math. It is a huge swing in your favor. And so you are going to do more, you're going to make more, and you are going to keep more. The last thing is John and I, we started the business in 2008. We are founder-led. We love this business. We love this venture. And we've succeeded because we've helped people like you succeed. And we've done over $3 billion in payments processed through our system. We're on track to surpass over $1 billion a year. We have 50,000 organizations that have signed up for our technology to use us. And we are a small, passionate team. And speaking of our team, there they are. Aren't they beautiful people? This is our team along with their families. This is on a private island in Belize. We are huge advocates for company culture. So our whole team, they're like a family. They will love to work with you. They're wonderful human beings. So as you engage with them on the chat or via email or however you interface with them, they are great human beings. So that's our team. All right, now let's get on with it. I'll try not to go too fast, but we got a lot to cover. So let's get started. So here I am inside the RegFox platform. This is an overview of my current RegFox pages. And to create a new page, I just go up here and create new page. And this is the same whether you're creating an in-person or virtual event. It's going to ask you for a name, ask you for a currency in case you're in another country. And it's also going to ask you for estimated number of attendees. And you also can copy a past page. So I'm going to fill this out now. The next step here, it's going to ask you for what kind of event. Really kind of doesn't matter a whole lot besides maybe if you're doing a free volunteer page or RSVP. Standard and advanced event will give you a couple different default fields, but it really doesn't matter a whole lot. We're going to skip the logo part here because I'll show you that in a separate demo. We're going to choose a sample template to get started. And here we are inside the builder. And this is where we're going to craft the registration page. But let me give you a quick flyby of this. We have coupon management, actions, which is our conditional logic, the confirmation page and what shows on there, confirmation emails, as well as scheduled reminder emails that go out before your event, some promotion options to control what is seen in social media, and also our social proof feature, which is a little bubble that pops up that tells you that people are on the page and buying. We also have some options for the check-in app and on-site settings, and then as many options and settings as you can imagine here under settings. The right-hand side here, this design panel, I'm not going to spend time on this, but this is going to show you how you can control fonts and colors and buttons. And if you even have someone on your team that likes to program things in CSS, you can have that there as well. And the background settings for the foreground color, the background color, and the background image, sky's the limit in the customization. And speaking of that, let me just show you really quick a few example pages of what people have been able to create. And here's one beautiful page. They also have membership management here, the reg options, and their attendee information. Beautiful page there. Here's another one, Kingdom Foundations. Again, great page. They've got a video in here. They've got a speaker profiles on here. We have what to expect, some scheduled agenda, travel options. They have their add-ons, really powerful, great page. Another one here, wilderness medicine. And this is an iframe implementation. This is their own website, and they've embedded the registration page in their own website. And you can see their options here as well. So really powerful there. And then last, we have Clayton King, kind of a fun heading up here that's got some visual graphics that are kind of rotating through. And so you can see their camp registration and their contact and registration billing information. So really powerful what you can create inside the RegFox system. And all of this is possible using this registration page builder. And so you can change anything you want here just by hitting the pencil icon. You can swap out your logo. You can change the controls and the widths and the dimensions. Same thing with the banner image here. You can swap out the background image, customize the text, all to your heart's liking. And if you want to move something around, just click and drag and you just rearrange it. Or if you want something gone completely, you just hit the trash can icon and you can delete it. So again, the controls are in your hands to make this exactly how you want. A quick mention on this dotted line here. This is going to separate maybe some visual information from data you're going to collect. So above this little dotted line, we can add things such as schedules and speakers and videos and locations. And we also can add a countdown clock widget if you want. And that can be a countdown to your event page starting, or it can be an early bird discount deadline. So between these two lines, you can really distinguish visual information, also data you collect. And the data you collect is all going to be down below here. And this is where you're going to build your form. And again, same model is you just hit edit for whatever you want to change. And this is our reg options field, which is our most powerful field. It's going to how you are going to organize and distinguish your attendee types from each other. And you can have pricing, you can allow deposits, you can limit the supply or the capacity of any individual option, add descriptions, and it's really powerful. And so you can customize that. And then to capture more data on here, you just hit the plus icon and we see a whole lot more in here. We have everything from personal information. We have any of the data collection fields we'd like, maybe a multiple choice or input field, checkbox, file upload. We've got COVID waivers in here as well. And you can also add merchandise. You can create breakout sessions. You can have vouchers. Purchase protection, which is a great field, allows your attendees to upgrade the registration that will give them a refund if they are prohibited from attending the event. And that's a service we provide. And then the display elements over here, from the visuals of the sharing buttons to page breaks and pictures and schedules, you can see really it's powerful. So you can see there is just a lot that's here that you can do, and I have a separate demo where I go deeper into actually building a registration page with a whole bunch of these other field types. So I'm going to cancel out of this and I'm going to jump over to one that I built in that other demo just so you can see again what's possible. And I've got an early bird discount here. I got my schedule. I got our speakers. And again, everything in here, you just hit edit and you can see what's possible in there. So we have our bios, we have our pictures. Those are all there. And same thing down in the registration information below here. We've got our registration options. We have a couple questions for dietary restrictions. And then I've added my breakout sessions. And again, these are just, you add it to the page, you give it a title, the description. If there's financial options on there, you can turn those on. If there's limited capacity, you can enable that. And so down below, we have our event merchandise. I've got a book. I also have t-shirts, and those t-shirts have different sizes. And again, you can see in here how we've configured it. We've got small, medium, large, and we have descriptions, titles, and so forth, and images. Further on below here, we have a share and thank, and this is an option where you can promote your page on Facebook, and your attendees can share this page on Facebook and they can get an instant discount that they can use for a coupon code field. And it's a great way to get the viral effect for your page. And last, we have a donation option down here where people can give to maybe a cause, they can give to a project you're doing. This is really popular as well. So I go through all of these details in that fuller demo on building a registration page, and I show you step-by-step how to do this. So let's talk about actions. Actions are going to be the way that we can create custom workflows or attendee paths. And so in here, we've got a title, and we also have some dietary restrictions. And so we want the registration page to actually adjust based on questions. So for example, when you choose corporate registration, we might want the job title to show, but if you choose the individual, we don't want that to show. And then we want the, please tell us about your dietary restrictions if someone chooses yes. And so I'm going to show you actions where all this is possible. We go to actions, and we can do a new action. And we can say when corporate registration is selected, then show title. And so what that's going to do, if I hit preview, is that is going to add some conditional logic to where if I choose individual, we don't see title. I choose corporate, we see the title. And the same thing is I've already added an action for the dietary restrictions. You choose yes, and it opens up and chooses a box to elaborate. And you can do this to show conditionally which sessions are available to people. So let's also expand on this corporate registration. Let's say when corporate registration is selected, we're also going to show a particular session. And let's decide it's going to be humility and how I achieved it with Michael Scott. So we'll hit save on that. And again, when we hit preview, I can go down here and I can see our available sessions. We only have 2, but when I choose corporate registration, we now see humility and how I achieved it. So this is how you can create those really powerful workflows and distinguish attendees and show them custom options based on who they are. You also can use actions to control pricing. We can do a date-based action. When date is before a certain date, then you can apply a discount of, let's say, 20%. And we will choose that on the individual and corporate registration. So that's going to set an early bird discount of 20% before my very specific date. That's going to automatically discount those options on the page. So really powerful. You can set all your pricing rules and all of your tiers instantly with actions, and it's just on autopilot. So actions is really incredible. There's so many things you can do. Again, I have a separate demo that I go even deeper on that. So moving along here, a couple options up here. Confirmation page is where we can see what people registered for, and we're going to automatically generate what they provided in the information they had, but you can add custom text and language on there. On our email confirmation, it's the same thing. You can choose the subject line title, you can choose who it's from. You can also blind copy your staff on there if you want. And if you don't want to include the confirmation page as an email, you uncheck that and you can add a custom confirmation email there. And scheduled reminders, this is how you can set emails to go out to your attendees before your event, and you can choose 24 hours, 7 days, 2 weeks, and you can create unlimited reminder emails leading up to your event. Under promote, this is where you can control what is seen when people share your page on social media, and so you can customize the language there. On-site, we'll talk about our check-in app here in a few minutes. And then settings for anybody on your marketing team who wants to track your page with Google Analytics, Tag Manager, track ads on Facebook and Google and so forth. You can do that. And registration permissions, this is going to be where you can enable, if you want, people to edit the registration. They can upgrade or they can make modifications to the registration. There's a whole workflow around this that you can set the rules for that. Last thing on here is the pre-registration. This is a fantastic feature for you if you're concerned about the uncertainty with COVID, is that you can set the page to put a card on file rather than charging them. And that will allow you to mass charge attendees later. So you can still have people register, they're gonna put a card on file rather than paying up front, and then you can decide a later time to charge them. And this is a perfect feature for the times right now. And so it completely de-risks you from any risk of refunds and also de-risks the attendees from putting money at risk. And I have a whole separate demo on how this works, but this is a great feature for anybody who's concerned about the current uncertainty. All right, when we are ready, we just hit save and then we hit publish. And now I'm going to show you the registration experience. So we've just published our page and I've put it to a dummy gateway, which means that we can step through it and it won't charge my card. And I'll show you the attendee experience for this. So let's go ahead and fill this out. All right, so I have got my registration information completed here. I've added a couple t-shirts. I'm attending a Michael Scott session as well. I've made an optional donation. I'm looking good. If I want to add another attendee, RegFox allows you to stack attendees into the registration experience. So group registration is really easy. And then I have both credit card and pre-registration enabled here. Now the pre-registration, remember, this is going to allow you to set a card on file rather than charge the attendee all up front. And so you can customize that language there, and that would put this registration into a pending state. But to step through it and pay instantly, I'll just choose this and hit submit. There I have my confirmation page. I've got now my custom QR code that your attendee will use to bring on site, that they can bring on their phone, that will work with the check-in app. So that is the registration experience end to end. That's how you build a great page. Very, very flexible and very powerful. All right, so let's talk about now editing and managing registrations. Now, most of the providers, when you need to make a change to an attendee, they tell you to cancel the attendee and have them start over. And we just think that's a terrible option. So let's walk through how you can edit and manage attendees. So we're going to go back over here and we see our open pages. We see our RegFox revenue that's to that page. And I can go up here to registrations. And we are going to see all of our most recent registrations here. And here we are. Here is my page I just registered on. We can view my registration record and we can see all the options I just registered for. We can also go down here and see the transactions. So if we want to edit my registration, we just hit edit. And let's say I wanted to downgrade. You can choose downgrade here. And the system over here is going to recalculate what the new balance is. And so it'll ask you in this case to refund them. You also can do upgrades this way as well. So if I have my current corporate registration and then maybe I wanted to change a meal choice on here, for example, I also could attend more sessions. I can change that. I also could add more books. I can add more merchandise. I can change my donation amounts. And the system over here is going to, again, recalculate it. So I don't have to have them go restart. I just make the change and just charge the card on file. And I can send a confirmation update with a special note. And I hit save and charge. And now the card on file has been charged. And I see down here my original registration, and then I see my upgrade here as well. Now, if I want to cancel them, that is also really easy. I can hit cancel, and I have several options here. I can cancel them and give them a full refund. I can cancel and give them a partial refund. And the most popular one is cancel them, but issue them a coupon code for future use. And you can control the email and the notes and things that go out there, and they can use a coupon code for a future event. Or if you want to cancel and not refund, you have that option there as well. Also, adding someone to the registration, let's say someone forgot to add a colleague or family member, you can hit add registrant and you can now step through and add a person to that registration. And again, all of this is without having to have them start over and cancel, which is a terrible experience. So you just fill this out and then you charge the card on file and they are off and going. So really awesome. Let's go over here, go to pages. We also can see analytics about our registration page. And under this graph here, we hit analytics and we can see an overview of our sales. We see a total sales here, total registrants, unique visitors. We see a graph over time. We're going to give you some insights over to your most popular registrations at a particular time and date. We're going to provide a breakout donut chart here that's going to show you the percentage of choices that you have in the revenue. Really, anything you capture on the registration page, we're going to visualize for you. We'll also show you a heat map of where your attendees are coming from. We also roll up all this data onto our dashboard. So on your dashboard here, we can see our overall activity over recent time. We can see insights about our top days. We can see highest performing pages on here, recent registrations. And so all of your activity across all pages is rolled up here for you, and it's really handy. RegFox also comes with a CRM. It's a very light CRM, but still you can go in here, you can find your contacts, you can click on them, such as Phil Dunphy. And so we can see their contact details, we can modify their basic information, we can add a photo if we like. We can add notes and interactions for context and background there. We also can add a task with a due date as well. And so allows you to have some of that CRM customer relationship management activities that you want. And then we also roll up all of their activity within the system from registrations to transactions and interactions and tasks and so forth. So really handy there. Our exports are fantastic as well, and they're found under Reports and Exporter. And under here, you've got a variety of different reports, and this one right here is the one your accountant is going to want. This is going to give the merchant summary of all the bank deposits and how they arrived. But let's take a look at the registrant data export. So we can take one page here, or you could select as many as you want, and then you're going to build your export according to the fields on this right-hand side. So we can choose a handful of fields over here, move them over there, as many as you want, doesn't matter to us, and then you can instantly download to CSV. If you want to filter this report, you can go and add a filter, and so you could choose a filter on this that's only going to be maybe individual registrations if you like. So you got some filter options there. Now, if you want to have this report memorized, you can do that as well. You click memorize this report and you just give it a name, and it's a quick access to rerun it. But if you want to auto schedule it, you can see I'm getting excited. You can even auto schedule this report to run on a certain interval. It can run on a very specific date, or it can happen daily, it can happen weekly, and then you can even email this report to somebody on your team. Just put their email address in there. And better yet, you can send them this automatic recurring report with all the data, or you can toggle this and it'll just send new data since the last time the report ran. So your team will probably cry tears of joy with this feature, and it's just fantastic. So speaking of teams, let's go look at team management really quick. Under the gear, we go to users, and here we have the ability to add new users to your account. And we do not charge for additional admins to your account. So you can just add their name and email in here, and then you can restrict the controls and access that they have access to, as well as you can give them access to a very specific page. So as great or little detail as you want to have in provisioning accounts, you can do that all from here. So let's now talk about check-in. Let's go and set up a check-in experience. So we're going to go back to our pages, and we're going to go over to our RegFox page here, and we're going to go over to on-site and go to the check-in app. And this is going to ask us to create a check-in app key. I'm going to create a key, and this is going to determine what is shown in my check-in app. And so we're going to give this a name, and then we're going to choose what fields do we want to see in the check-in app. So I might choose meal choices, I might do our breakout sessions and push that over here. And so this is going to control what goes in the check-in app. We have a lot of options here that you can even control to have the check-in app allow edits. So you can upgrade someone's registration from the check-in app as well. You also can do on-site verification if you want people to sign terms and conditions and also take a selfie photo. On check-in, you have those controls as well. It's going to hit create. And now the system's going to generate this key for me, and I'm going to use this for my check-in app now. So I'm going to minimize my screen just for a second and pull up my phone here, and this is a screen share of my phone, and show you our check-in app, which works on iPhone and also Android. So I have the check-in app loaded on my phone here, and I can now either type in this app key or I can scan the key, and I'm going to choose out my phone. And so instantly all of my registrations now come into my device, and I can see the total number of people checked in, the total number remaining. I can see over here again who all is in each category. And if I tap any one of these, I can see who's checked in, and also I can go over and see who's not checked in. And I can do a manual check-in this way if I want. I can see what sessions they have. I can see any details about them, and then I can hit that big blue button to check them in like that. And now Carrie is checked in. Now for scanning, I can just go down here and I can tap on the scan. And so this is now going to open up the camera. And let me go up here and get my registration. So watch how fast this is. So this is me bringing in my QR code to the system. And let's get this moved over here so you can see it. But if I move my phone there, it's so fast. I don't know if you saw that, but the scanning is so incredibly fast, and it pulls up my registration record. So managing your attendees on site with the scanning app is incredible, and I can choose to check them in. And so now I am checked in. And back on the dashboard at home, here I can see my total's been updated. I can see the progress. And if I want to look anybody up, I can tap the search here and I can type in any name. I see me in here, and so I can go to my registration record here, see I'm already checked in. So we are there. So that is a check-in app. There's so many options in here. Even in the settings, you can have a self-check-in mode. There's an offline mode. There's some great features there. So that is it for this demo. Thank you so much for hanging with me through all of this. We know it's a ton. Watch out for an email from me that's going to include some links that will showcase individual features we've seen here, but a little more in depth. We're going to now transfer it over to our team. They're going to answer your questions live right now, so we're looking forward to addressing those. But watch out for an email from me, and if you have any additional questions after this demo, or if we can work with your team and answer questions directly from them, please let us know. And now we're going to transfer it over.